Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to show you 10 exercises that you can do in just a bit of space using either a wall, a training partner, or a rebounder. And we're going to get tons of touches and increase the difficulty of each exercise with each one. So we're going to start off really simple, and then by exercise 10, we're really going to challenge our control of the ball. Just before we get into them, I want to say a huge thank you to Umbro for sponsoring today's video. As you can see, I'm fully decked out in Umbro today with some of my favorite pieces. We've got the relaxed track jacket, we've got the pro training poly pants, and the classic Speciales, one of my all-time favorite football boots. And you can get these as well as anything on Umbro Premier using my link and code 7MLC20 for 20% off your entire purchase. You can find that one down below. Now let's jump into the exercises.
The first exercise is touch and outside push. So we play the pass at the wall, control it with the inside of our foot furthest away from the cones, and then we use the outside of our opposite foot to push the ball between the gap. I've placed my cones one step apart. You can increase this distance, especially if you're new to the exercises, and then once you gain a mastery of them, start to decrease that distance so you can work on the precision of your touches. And I've placed my cones 2 steps away from the wall. For each of these exercises, I'd recommend 10 repetitions on each side so that you get an equal amount of repetitions on both feet. For the second exercise, we're working on inside directional touches. So we play the pass. Again, we're going to control the ball with the inside of our foot furthest away from the cones, but this time taking our first touch across our body. Not only is it important to be able to control a ball, stopping it, but it's also important to get the ball on the move, especially if you're being pressured. If you're able to take the ball into space with one touch, you're going to be more efficient, but you're also going to be able to protect that ball. So it's essential to master both stopping the ball as well as getting it on the move with your first touch. Again, go for 10 repetitions on each side. Moving into the third exercise, we're working on inside-outside push. So we play the pass at the wall, this time controlling it with our foot closest to the cones. With the inside of that foot, then we transfer it to the outside of that same foot and shift it between the gap. So you need to be controlled with that first touch, keeping it underneath you, light on your feet to be able to exchange it to the outside of that same foot, and then shift it on nimble toes between the gap. Again, lower that center of gravity as you push the ball, so slight bend in the knee. It's going to load up that planting foot to give you more power when you're accelerating, and then make sure you're able to play the pass with your next touch. So you're not pushing it too far out of your feet that you lose control, but just far enough so you can play the pass with your next touch. Exercise 4 is one touch, two touch. So we play the pass at the wall, immediately play another pass with your first touch, and then we take that directional touch through the cones. So we're combining 1 and 2 touches in one exercise. So you're going to have to get in a rhythm with this one, start slowly to begin with, but really focus on making contact with the middle of that ball. With your one touch passes, if you're hitting too low on the ball, it's going to bobble up. If you're hitting too high on the ball, it's going to get caught underneath your feet. So really master the timing, focusing on the middle of that ball for a clean contact and making sure we're nice and light on our feet so we can move the ball with our first touch between the cones and be nimble enough to keep control of the ball. For exercise 5, we're working on inside-outside roll. So we play the pass at the wall, we're taking our touch with the inside of the foot furthest away from the cones, shifting it to the outside of that same foot, and then we drag it back through the cones with that same foot. So it's 3 touches in total on one side, and then we repeat this pattern on the opposite side. So you need a soft touch to take it between those cones. You're leading that defender thinking you're taking it to one side, shifting it back in the opposite direction, and then taking it a third time between the gap. So it's a slight ball mastery activity combined with a first touch exercise, really working on the control of both feet, being nimble, soft with those touches, getting an equal amount of repetitions on both feet. For exercise 6, we're working on one touch angles. So we play the pass at the wall, then immediately play a second pass, but this time at an angle, so that it goes in front of that cone and we retrieve the ball on the opposite side. So one straight pass and then one angled pass. Being light on those feet, focusing on the middle of that ball so that you get a clean contact, focusing on developing a rhythm with quality touches. So as you can see, a slight bend in my knees. This allows me to be nimble, moving from side to side, and also be rhythmic with my side to side movements. You want to work on that timing so that you get a good contact on the ball, getting an equal amount of reps on both sides. For exercise 7, we're working on back foot pulls. So we play the pass at the wall, and then we open up our hips and take our first touch 90 degrees with the inside of that back foot, and we use that same foot to drag it back towards us. Then we exchange feet and play the ball at an angle so that we can retrieve the ball on the opposite side of the cones and repeat this pattern in the opposite direction. So make sure you open up those hips in the direction you want to take that first touch, not getting it too far out of your feet so that you lose control, just far enough out so that you can bait the defender, then you're dragging it back towards you, and then you're going to play that angled pass to retrieve it on the opposite side. Again, being light on those feet, focusing on good clean connections of the ball so that it doesn't bobble, and going for 10 repetitions in each direction. Start really slowly with this one so that you get the pattern, then start to increase the speed as you gain confidence with it. Exercise 8 is check in, check out. So we play a pass at the wall, we check towards it, and then we play a first time pass and back pedal. We take a first touch across our body behind that back cone, then we repeat this pattern on the opposite side. So this is a great exercise for developing balance, being able to check towards the ball, play a pass, and also back pedal and receive a ball. Because when you're moving forwards and backwards, your weight is not evenly distributed. So this allows you to work on distributing that weight evenly. This allows you to not only control the ball while moving forwards and backwards, but also play first time passes with the correct angle of your foot. If you're off balance in these circumstances, it's easy to get underneath the ball and lift it too much or get on top of it. So moving forwards and backwards in this kind of exercise allows you to distribute that weight evenly for cleaner and precise passes. Exercise 9 is short, short, long. So we play a pass at the wall, control it between the cones, play a pass on the opposite side and take it back through the cones. Then for that third pass, we back pedal and then we control it behind that back cone. Then we repeat this pattern in the opposite direction. So we're playing 2 short passes and then 1/3 long pass. So we're combining some forwards movement, backwards movement, as well as some lateral touches between the cones. So you need precision, you need rhythm, and also timing with your touches. So start slowly with this one so you can get the rhythm down, and then start to increase the speed once you gain confidence with it. As you can see, lots of different movements here. Just getting to know that pattern is going to be a good challenge for your mind while still focusing on the quality and technique of your touches. Just with all the other exercises, go for 10 repetitions, getting an equal amount of reps on both sides. And for the 10th and final exercise, we're doing short, long, long. So it's the reverse of the exercise we just worked on. So this is a great way to challenge your brain. After you just started to develop a rhythm with exercise 9, now we're breaking that rhythm, which is really going to challenge you. So we're taking our first touch between the cones on that first pass, then we back pedal on the second, take our touch behind the back cone, and then another long pass, taking the touch behind that back cone. And then we check towards the ball on the opposite side and repeat this pattern in both directions. So remaining nimble on your feet throughout, and also really challenging your mind, because once you start to gain confidence with a pattern, you get into an autopilot state where it becomes second nature. And then when you slightly change up the rhythm, it just adds that element of challenge once again. So all of these touches should be mastered already in the previous exercise. We're just adding that cognitive component by breaking the rhythm and causing you to think about your next action. So we're going short pass through the cones and then 2 long passes, getting equal amount of repetitions on both feet.
So there we have it, 10 exercises that you can do either individually or with a teammate to sharpen up that all-important first touch. And just before I go, make sure you check out the link in my description if you want to pick up any of the Umbro items I'm wearing today, as well as anything you see on umbropremier.com using my code 7MLC20 for 20% off your purchase. But if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you smash the like button, hit that subscribe button for weekly training videos, and I will see you guys in my next video.